Here are your Court News Ohio top stories in 5 minutes.
The Ohio Supreme Court ruled on May 28th that Cleveland's curfew ordinance that prohibits people from staying in the city's downtown public square overnight without a permit is constitutional. The 6-1 decision reversed an 8th District Court of Appeals judgment. Two members of a group known as Occupy Cleveland filed separate appeals to the 8th District Court of Appeals after they were arrested and convicted of the curfew violation. Occupy Cleveland members were protesting income disparity in the public square area in Cleveland in 2011, but the city's curfew prevents people from remaining in the square from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. without a permit. The court determined that Cleveland's ordinance does not violate the rights to free speech and assembly in the U.S. Constitution, and it is content neutral because it applies to all people, regardless of their message or activities, and bans no particular message or form of expression. The court also said the group could have moved to the square's public sidewalks without violating the law. Justice Paul Pfeiffer issued the lone dissent. He asserts that the city's law is unconstitutional because it is not narrowly crafted to further a significant government interest.
The first woman to fill the Reporter of Decisions position in the history of the Ohio Supreme Court will become the third woman to serve as the clerk of the court. It was announced on May 30th that Sandra Grosco was appointed to the position and that she will start July 1st.
I'm really honored and excited. It's a position I've aspired to since the time I started working in the clerk's office over 10 years ago.
Grosco joined the Supreme Court in 1995 as a law clerk to Justice Deborah Cook and later served as case management counsel in the office of the clerk. She has served as the reporter since August 2011, and she also previously served as interim clerk of the court in 2007.
I think all of those things have prepared me because they're all involved with the processing of cases, so it's helped me to be able to see that process from different perspectives.
Grosco replaces Mark Reed, who will return to his former position as a clerk for the Court of Claims of Ohio. The clerk of the court for the Supreme Court oversees the office of the clerk, which is responsible for administering the files of cases and documents before the court and other important functions of case management. Grosco said one of her biggest goals is e-filing at the Supreme Court, as well as improving case resources. Until a permanent reporter is hired, Grosco will also serve as interim reporter beginning July 1st.
The Court of Claims of Ohio approved settlements in two separate cases. In a May 28th decision, the court approved a $650,000 settlement to a family who sued the University of Toledo Medical Center. In 2012, a nurse threw away a healthy kidney being donated by Paul Fidesz Jr. to his older sister, Sarah. And on May 29th, the court awarded the family of deceased Warren Correctional Institution inmate Brandon Kopis $350,000 in damages for his wrongful death. The Court of Claims previously found the Department of Rehabilitation and Correction liable because Kopis was not sent to an outside medical facility after being admitted to the infirmary.
The Ohio Supreme Court on May 27th suspended a Fayette County judge and 2 Cuyahoga County attorneys. Fayette County Probate Juvenile Court Judge David Bender was issued a 1-year state suspension for neglecting a client's personal injury case. The Office of Disciplinary Counsel alleged that as Bender transitioned to becoming a judge in 2011, he failed to settle a client's suit before the statute of limitations deadline. The Supreme Court also issued an indefinite suspension to Gates Mills attorney John Lemieux. Lemieux struggled with a drug and alcohol addiction and was found to have received payment advances from several clients while not performing any legal work for their cases. And former Ohio State Bar Association President Leslie Jacobs received a 2-year suspension because of a 2012 felony conviction for filing false tax returns. Jacobs received 1 year in prison for his actions.
After an automatic recount May 29th by the Guernsey County Board of Elections, Andrew Warhola Jr. will face off with David Bennett in the November general election for Guernsey County Probate and Juvenile Court Judge. The Board of Elections confirmed a 9-vote win for Warhola against Kent Beegler in the May 6th Democratic primary of the judgeship. Warhola received 930 votes to Beegler's 921 votes. Warhola and Bennett are seeking to replace retiring Judge Robert Moorhead Jr., who is prevented from running again due to the constitutional age restriction.
That's a look at Court News Ohio's top stories. Visit courtnewsohio.gov for the latest headlines on Ohio's courts. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter.